got the Boston Trucker with you. Welcome to my show.
The Boston Trucker here. Welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy it.
Feels like a Monday, I tell you. Do you have trouble getting going on Monday morning? All you local guys? I do. I look at those nice shiny tanks and I'm thinking, why did I paint the tanks on the new truck? I love that shiny look. I hate painted tanks. I don't know. I don't know what came over me. I guess I was thinking I'll probably drive the new truck for at least 10 years if it lasts. And it's a lot of polishing as I get older. I am getting older. My shoulders are a little sore, so I was looking in the future. It's gonna look fine. It's gonna look fine. And if you don't like painted tanks, what can I tell you? There's a whole lot more of that new truck to look at than just the tanks. But I do like shiny tanks. Jeez. I'm gonna miss this truck, I tell you. That new truck is quiet. You can barely hear the engine going down the road. It's gonna look good though. It's gonna look good. It's almost like driving this one, just quieter. And I don't know if I'm crazy or not, but it seems like there's a little bit of less room in the new truck than this one. I don't know if it's my imagination or it's the flat glass and maybe the cab's a little tighter, like a few inches tighter, or maybe it's just my seat's worn and it's got a new seat in it. I don't know. These are all questions we're all gonna figure out together, hopefully. I'm gonna dump out a load of gravel over here, the DPW. 4:30, sun shining. Dumping out load number 5. Gone back loaded 5 times too. It's 10 loads. I just loaded Teddy with some 3/4 stone. I'm gonna load myself with some gravel. Dump her out, preload. Time I'm done today, it'll be almost 5:45. I need to be home at 6. I'm gonna take my daughter to dance class. Ah, man. And I could go back empty. That's the thing. When I do a late load, he'll say, "I'll just come back empty." But we're almost out of gravel today. It'd be a waste of a trip to come back empty right now. So we'll throw a load on. My keys are in the machine anyways. I had to move it to get in here because we block it off at night. And it doesn't seem like night, but it's 4:30, 4:45 here. The first time the sun's come out all day since this morning. My fancy finger work here. Oh, that's a big bucket. I wish you could see it. It's the biggest of buckets. Maybe the biggest bucket of all time. Check the cameras. Into number 3. We're gonna do 3.5. turn. He's loading. I'm dumping. My buddy called me. He said he's stuck in Reno. Can't get over Donner Pass. The highway's shut down. You get like 60 inches of snow. They said trucks are like encased in the snow on top of the pass. In other words, Donner's getting a normal winter, unlike us. Donner Pass, if you don't know, it's it's Interstate 80 that goes the California-Nevada line over the Sierra Mountains and drops you down into Sacramento. And it's a pretty treacherous area of the country. An area where you need to put chains on, or at least have chains, and a lot of times put the chains on the truck to go over in the wintertime. Me personally, when I ran out there, I always watched the weather. We didn't have weather apps. Watching the weather meant two things. You walked into the truck stop where the televisions were, and you watched the weather and tried to gauge what it was going to do. Three things. Number two, you get on the CB radio and go, hey, how's the weather over Donner? Usually people answered you. And the third way is to look at the trucks coming towards you. Are they covered in snow? Do they have their headlights on? If they got the headlights on, it means they're probably coming, if it's daytime, they just came through some weather. If they got snow and ice caked on the front of their trucks, they just came through some weather. Those are the three things you know about the weather. But I was just thinking, it's time for me to eat. I'm starting to get too thin. I don't want to not eat. What I got today? I got salad and I got chicken thighs. Chicken breasts would be more healthy, but I don't like white meat. I like chicken thighs. Anyways, one time I was going over Donner. I was heading west on my way to the bay. And Donner was shut down, so we pulled into the Boomtown truck stop in a town called Verney, which is Reno, exit 4 on I-80, which is 4 miles from the California border. And I pulled in there with another I met another Bud Meyer driver over there, Margie Larson. She went by Granny Larson. She's an older woman, good driver. She ran solo. And we met at Boomtown. The mountain had been closed like half a day, so we went to the truck stop. They had a Ruth Chris Steakhouse in Boomtown. So we went out some nice steaks, did some gambling. I wasn't a huge gambler, but I did like the slot machines. And we were playing like $50 slots at some points, which is kind of rich for my blood, but I was up. Having a good time. Every few hours we'd head over to the fuel desk to find out what the conditions are on the mountain and see if they opened the highway yet. Finally, after sitting for about 24 hours, they said the mountain's open. So, and I was exhausted by this point. I wasn't expecting that. I climbed back in the truck, me and Margie. It was already nighttime now. No chain restrictions. We go up over Donner Pass, come down the other side of the mountain. They're already on the radio saying, because there was another storm coming in, that they just closed the pass behind us. So we just got over. Another time, a few other times when you get out there, if you can get away with it, you can go up 395 north to Susanville and grab 36 and 32 over to Chico. That's another way to go, but you could get hit with chain restrictions there too. hell's going on over there? Well, you can take 395 to 44, 295 to Reading. But my rule was always, the chain law is out. It's probably too dangerous to be driving anyways. Time to catch up on some sleep. But sometimes you just gotta go. Sometimes you just gotta go and not chain up and find other ways. I've done a few times. You know, if you know it's gonna be bad ahead and you're heading to the West Coast, it's more mileage, but you can just drop down. Don't drop down across 80 and 70, because then you go across Colorado. Nobody wants to go across 70 in Colorado, west of Denver in the wintertime in the snow. But you can drop down to Kansas, 54 across to 40. But, you know, it's a lot different now than when I was in the game. All these plastic trucks and plastic truck drivers just banging into each other. I don't know what's going on. People are on their phones, lack of training, just it's a pretty sad state of affairs. I tell you, man, it just seems so dangerous out there. I don't know if it happened. It all seems to me that it just got worse after COVID. Maybe everybody's just in a brain fog still. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna stay in my lane and just run this Route 2, and it's not too bad. I'm trying to talk my mouth full, but it's good. It's a healthy lunch. Got salad, got a little bit of Thousand Island dressing. We got chicken breasts, and I got 2 egg whites underneath. Protein. I was just thinking of another shortcut. A lot of you guys know this already. Bill Kruger knows this stuff. Russell Spawn, he knows. Let's say you're going up to Idaho or Oregon, right? Instead of running 80 to 15, or 80 to 84 to 15, get off of Little America, run up Route 30. Put you right on 15. Stop at the old Ranch Hand Saloon truck stop. I think it's still there. That was a good stop I should stop at. My dad used to go that way all the time. I was going to Idaho. Sometimes it pays to get on the back roads. Do it when the weather's good and learn them. And when the weather's bad, you know, it's a good choice later. I like I shouldn't be talking when I'm eating. I like the back roads. Getting away from all the crazies. That's where you see the cool stuff. Scenery, antique shops, old trucks, mom and pop places, restaurants, truck parking. I'm almost done. This I eat when I'm driving. My hand. Like a caveman. I know, I also watch a lot of videos. Seems like a lot of truck drivers are now cooking inside their trucks. Once again, ever since COVID. And the restaurants are shut down, I guess, still. It seems weird to me, seeing truck drivers making gourmet meals inside their trucks. Frying eggs in the morning. It was kind of cool. I mean, it's cool, but I never remember having that much time to cook. Not that I cook, but I just... And what does the truck smell like after you're cooking inside it? I don't know. I'm going to cook eggs and bacon in my truck. I mean, the bacon will smell good. The eggs? I don't know. Does it last? Trucking sure has changed since I drove over the road. This ain't trucking. This is just dump trucking. Local stuff. But over the road trucking sure has changed. And I don't think for the better. You can blame, you know who you can blame that on? They'll never be a sponsor on my channel anyways, I'm sure. Werner Transport. Yeah, I said Werner. Werner. Weenie wagons. Werner. Aren't they the ones that started the whole ELD thing, testing them on their drivers, and it spread throughout the land? When I start talking about ELDs, I know nothing about them, so don't take my word for it. I just know what I see, and maybe I see it, call it wrong, but it all started to me. It feels like the trucking industry went downhill with the ELDs. Whatever happened to letting a man be a man, or a person be their own person? All these crashes and drivers driving into weather conditions because the clock tells them to. Whatever happened to, like Tommy was saying, common sense? Why would you drive into a blizzard and not be prepared to get through it? It's just stupidity. That's what I think. It's just, I never did that. You know, and it was different. It was just different. Snowstorms, you know, if the weather got bad, you pulled over, you went to bed, you got up, you peeked through the curtains every couple hours. You get on the radio, you'd sit in your truck for like a half an hour just listening to the CB, listening to the play-by-play, listening to the trucks rolling by on the highway. Can you hear the chains on the tires? What's going on out there? Do they got it cleared up? How many lanes are open? And then you make the call. Do I go for it? And once you go for it, you're committed. You know? I remember sitting at Twin Arrows in Arizona going eastbound by Flagstaff. You know, in New Mexico and Arizona and Texas, it's treacherous in the wintertime. Icy, a lot of ice. You know, I remember sitting at Twin Arrows when the diner was there, and you know, before the casino. The casino wasn't even there when I got off the road. You know, listening to the radio, spending the night. I got a picture of my black Mac buried in snow. Listening to the radio. How's it sound going eastbound? You know, looking on my map to see where the next truck stop is. If I made a bad decision, if I need to get off the road. You know, and back then, the truck stops didn't get clogged up like they do now, and you could still find a parking spot. But you had to plan your trips, plan the weather, listen. There were no smartphones. There was no Sirius satellite radio. We had AM FM radio with cassettes. A lot of AM radio. And we had maps, CB radios, common sense. That was it. That's all we had. And we had each other. And a lot of us could count on each other. Man, I sound like one of those old timers. But it's true. I mean, you can count on your fellow driver mostly to tell you the truth of what's going on there out in the roads. And you had your eyes to see what was going on. You didn't just get up blindly and head into a closed highway and sit on I never sat on the highway in a snowstorm. You kidding me? What happened? What happened from then to now? Regulations happened. Too many of them. Too many regulations. Too many people sitting behind desks making the rules. In every administration, it's not a political thing, every administration, none of them have helped the truckers. None of them have saved the truckers. None of them. I am seeing some senators now on both sides are starting to pay attention and lobby for the truckers. But when are the truckers going to find some relief? You know, is it all talk? Is it all for votes? I don't know. Coincidentally, today's Super Tuesday. So if you want changes, get out and vote. Don't complain. Don't complain because you didn't vote and want changes. Now, how does an over-the-road trucker vote? Because they all got opinions. We all got opinions about what's going on, but
you gotta plan ahead, just like trucking. You gotta be proactive. You gotta get your mail-in ballot or whatever. I never voted till I got off the road. I didn't really care about politics, you know. The only politics I heard about on the road is I would go to the AM station, listen to G. Gordon Liddy, who I loved, G. Gordon Liddy, and I listened to Rush Limbaugh back in the day. That's all I had. I didn't really care, to be honest. I care now. You ain't gonna get me to talk about it though. That's a private thing. I think it should be a private thing. Social media. Nobody wants my opinion. But are you voting today? It's Super Tuesday. What are you doing about it? You're on the road. Did you mail in a ballot? If you didn't, get on it. November's coming up soon. You got time. I don't care who you vote for. Just don't complain later if your guy didn't win. Or girl. I'd be fine with a woman president, by the way. I just want a competent person. And I like somebody younger. Anybody younger. You know, in the 50s would be perfect. These 70-year-old people running for president plus. Ridiculous. You know, there's nobody better. Is there nobody better? You know, the smart people and the better people, they're too smart to run is the problem. Alright, now I'm talking politics. I'm done. Cut it. Cut the tape. Oh, we have a problem. It's not supposed to be like that. Ruh-roh. Looks like the cotter pin must have slid out. Frenchie,
What's going on?
I keep breaking stuff.
Ah.
So I'm on my way to the Fernald School. The Fernald School has a really bad history. Children and adults were incarcerated there, I think in the 1920s. They're abused, poorly educated, malnourished. Many of the Fernald residents were unwitting participants in medical experiments, such as the science club, children who were fed radioactive isotopes with their oatmeal. A lot of abuse, a lot of deaths, and a lot of ghosts, and children buried on the property. It's a really, look up the Fernald, Fernald, and you'll see. And we were hauling snow there. We had a snow farm there a few years ago. At nighttime, talk about creepy. The place is like a maze. And driving around there, trying to find your way around. It's private property. People go in there still, they vandalize, they shoot ghost stories, they look for spirits, they look for unmarked graves. That's where we're going. We're going on an adventure. State property. Just gonna wait a few minutes. Somebody was supposed to meet me here, so. If I go in there, it's like a maze. I don't know where I'm going. I have no instructions. I was told to be here, so. Listen, you can hear the ghosts howling in the back. You hear that? Oh, is that creepy? Oh, it's the geese. The geese are back. They got confused. It's still early March, geese. You're here too early. It's gonna snow again. Trust me. See that? The Fernald.
Originally called the Experimental School for Teaching and Training Idiotic Children, was founded in Boston by reformer Samuel Gridley Howe. Training idiotic children, really? That's just sad. I mean, who determines who's idiotic? I know a lot of idiots. I'm not going to send them to a reform school. I was doing some reading when I was eating. It said this place was open up till 2014. I don't think what was happening back then was happening in 2014. I would know about it, but because I live here, but anybody remember the movie Blair Witch Project? I'm in here all alone, by the way. Me. You. Nobody else is here. We just dumped. I'm waiting on somebody to show up to sign my slip. That's about as far as I'm going to go. No, I'm not going to go up those stairs. You know, Monday morning when I came to work, I was like, what am I going to be filming this week? I never have any clue what I'm going to be doing week to week. What was that? Shit. I don't want to find out.
Hey, good, how are you?
Good. Thank you.
There you go. You too.
All right. Welcome back to the Boston Trucker Channel. We have a special guest just about to arrive. Everybody's been asking about her. Here she comes. Rose.
What?
Rose is here.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
We're in the Marine Reserve. Tell everybody where you've been.
Boot camp.
Boot camp.
Parris Island, South Carolina.
How was South Carolina?
It was cold. It was
Really?
a cold winter down in South Carolina. There was a couple times during boot camp. It got to about 30 degrees. I didn't think it was going to be that cold down in South Carolina. But
Oh my God.
it was a little bit of cold winter.
So you arrive at boot camp for the
Yeah.
first time. What is that like? Is it scary? Is it is it nervous?
It feels so long ago that everything was just like such a blur. But
Yeah.
we get to the airport in Savannah, Georgia, and pretty much everybody. There was the airport in Savannah, Georgia, constantly has Marine recruits coming in to go to boot camp. So they have a drill instructor there, and everybody's just in this big line, like at the airport, and you're in this line for hours. It was like probably 4 hours. We were just standing in this line, and then we got through that line, and we went in this room, and we had to write our social security number down, a bunch of information on a piece of paper in this room, and we just had to wait for the bus to get there, pretty much. And all the women had to wait until later in the night, because all the women had to get on one bus, and all the men had to get on one bus. And we got on the bus at like, my phone was shut off well before then, because my phone died and I didn't have a charger block, so I couldn't charge it. But we got on the bus at like 1 in the morning. We probably got there like 3 in the morning.
Wow.
And you had to keep your head down the whole time on the bus ride from Savannah, Georgia to Paris Island.
Why?
They don't want you seeing anything. You gotta, it's just the thing. You gotta keep your head down the whole time.
You kidding me?
Yep.
Wait, why don't they want you to see anything?
It's just a thing. I don't really know what the logical reasoning is behind it, but we kept our heads between our knees, like
They got
the whole
their
time.
reasons to do stuff, right?
Yeah. Everything's done for a reason, whether you know the reason or not. Everything's done for a reason. Down to every little thing they do in boot camp. It's all, everything happens for a reason in boot camp. But we had our heads down the whole time on the bus ride. Probably got to Paris Island around 3 in the morning, and then a drill instructor gets on the bus, and you just start getting screamed at.
That's Isaac.
Oh, that's Isaac.
Take that weight back. So 3 in the morning. What happens at 3 in the morning when you arrive? You get to go to sleep in a nice luxury bed?
We didn't sleep for like 3 days.
Oh my god.
It was like 3 days we were awake.
So is this all like really mental training?
Yeah, it's so back in the old days, a lot of guys called the old Marine Corps. Back in the old Marine Corps, it was a lot more physical, and what they consider the new Marine Corps, it's a lot more mental. Everything's more mental. Everything's more about precision and discipline, and like doing everything exactly the way that you're supposed to be doing it.
Like conditioning your brain.
Yeah. So it's a lot more mental, and I didn't have too hard of a time with the physical aspect of it.
Yep.
I hate running, so running was just running.
How much running were you doing?
Not a lot, not a ton.
Okay.
We ran 2 or 3 times a week.
Okay.
But we marched everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere we went, we marched. And we had, from the first week of training up until 2 weeks before we graduated, everywhere we went, we pretty much had our rifles with us. So we were just marching with rifles.
So had you ever shot a rifle before?
Before boot camp, yes. But shooting in boot camp was a lot different than when I had shot at home and with my friends, just for fun.
Yep.
It's a lot more about precision shots. So they have what's called table 1 and table 2. So table 1 is more precision shots, like you're slow firing in shooting positions.
Yep.
It's not practical towards what you'd actually be shooting, like if you were in a combat situation and you're shooting. But it's like you shoot from the kneeling position, the standing position, the sitting position, and the prone position, which is laying down.
Right.
And you'd shoot from, it started at 200 yards, then you did shots at 300 yards, and then at 500 yards.
And did they teach you breaking down the gun and cleaning the gun and all that stuff?
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. We had M16A4 service rifles. They're pretty simple to break down.
Okay.
You just break down what they call shotgun style. So you push the pins and you break it down, like open it up like shotgun style. You take out the bolt and the charging handle, and you can break down the bolt to the all the way down.
Do you have real bullets in the gun?
Yeah, so we shot like actual live rounds.
So how did you find your fellow recruits? Were they from all walks of life? Did you guys become friends?
I made a couple solid friends. Everybody's from different walks of life. It's a little weird. Some people come from homes where they've never been screamed at in their life, and they had a lot of tough times with that. And some people come from lives where they're handed everything in their life. It just depends.
And everybody's there for a different reason?
Yeah, pretty much. Everybody has their own reason. When I was at boot camp, we all called it our why. We would ask each other, like, what's your why? Like, why you're here? Why you're doing this? Like, what is your why? Your reason, pretty much.
What was your why?
Self-improvement, honestly, to be a better person. Be a better person, to prove something to myself just because I wanted to. My dad's a Marine.
Right.
So now me and my dad are both Marines.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Marine for life.
Yeah, once a Marine, always a Marine. But yeah,
So,
it's
Did you find your self-improvement there?
I did. It was nice to have a break from dealing with everybody at home and having no phone, no stress, not worried about work or anything. Just 3 months where I could honestly mentally improve myself. I learned a lot of patience.
Yep. That's
'Cause-
good. You need it in this business.
Yeah.
And you know what? I remember riding with you in the Western stop pulling the low bed. And a few incidences where I was like, oh, she needs to learn some patience.
Yeah, that got a little frustrating.
But I wonder if that's going to change now.
It probably will. I mean, throughout the past, well, it's been almost a year since I've been here. Obviously, I haven't been completely driving at Cardillo for a year because I've been gone for 3 months. But throughout the whole time I've been at Cardillo, I've learned a lot more patience, especially in the Waltham area. It's a lot more pedestrians than I'm used to.
A lot of aggressive driving around
There's
here.
a lot of aggressive driving in Waltham, especially on Tonquon Road where you get the 2-lane, but you don't exactly fit all the way in the right lane. You gotta stick over a little bit. People get really angry and they get like inches from my steps.
It's all different now. It's all under construction. It's a whole new traffic pattern.
Yeah, I'm confused. I was confused when I came through here in my pickup truck. Like, what is going on here?
It's been like this for a month and a half.
Has it? I couldn't really see that it's different, but I can't really tell what is different.
You didn't miss any snow here. We only plowed once.
I heard.
It's almost April.
Yeah.
I don't think Mother Nature's done with us yet.
Don't
we might have
jinx it. Don't
might
jinx
have had
it.
better weather than you did.
Yeah, we had a lot of rain.
Yeah.
It was cold and rainy. Windy too. A lot of wind.
So, what kind of food is served in the Marines? When are you eating?
So you eat 3 times a day. Morning chow, afternoon chow, evening chow. That's what we call it. Morning chow, usually right after we got up. So we'd get up at 5 o'clock every morning, which everyone at boot camp, it was so funny. They were all like irritated about getting up so early and everything. And I'm like, I get up this early for work anyway.
Yeah, you're used to it, yeah.
Like, I always get up at 5 o'clock in the morning for work. If not earlier, I'm up at like 4:30, 4:45, making my coffee, getting ready to go to Littleton to pick up my truck every morning.
So after 5 o'clock, what is the routine?
So you get up at 5 o'clock, when we all went to the bathroom, they call it making a head call. So you make a head call in the morning, you brush your teeth, go to the bathroom, do whatever you needed to do, fix your hair in the morning. We didn't have a lot of time to fix our hair. We had to do that on our own time.
Was your hair, like, did they have to tame your hair or cut it at all?
No, so you just put your hair in a bun.
Okay.
We did what's called sock buns, which it's like, you take a sock, you cut the toes off of it, you roll it up, and it's like a fake bun, and you just put your hair around it. It's like a neat bun.
Okay.
So we did those. I put my hair in braid buns a lot because they were easier, but you just slick back your hair, just make sure there's no flyaways or anything.
Right.
Make it look neat.
Interesting.
So we'd do that on our own time, but every morning we'd fix our hair. We didn't have a lot of time, so it would just be you'd have enough time to put some gel and hairspray in it and make it look neat. And then you'd make your rack. You gotta make your rack every morning when you get up. And then you'd get dressed and we'd kick out the chow around 5:30, 6 o'clock every morning, somewhere between those times. Sometimes we'd PT before chow, which is pretty much when you just get up and work out in the morning.
PT, physical training?
Yeah.
Rack is bed rack?
Yep. The rack is bed.
I know the lingo.
Yeah, it's weird lingo. A lot of the lingo that the Marine Corps uses is actually also like Navy lingo.
Yep. Also, make sure you speak loud to the camera.
Okay.
Because people are complaining that I need to get microphones.
Are they?
Yeah, I
Okay.
can't do it, not yet. Truck's loud, but no,
Not
that's
yet.
really interesting. So, after chow, what's a typical day?
It would depend on the day, honestly. A lot of the time we'd go and we'd do what's called drilling, which is when you're marching with rifles. It's like precision movements. They call it close order drill. It's like precision movements with rifles, like you're marching. Like if you ever seen the videos of guys marching and you're like,
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
I don't really know how to explain that too much. But
Now-
we'd practice drill
Okay.
And then we PT some mornings. We were in the classroom a lot, so we were learning in classrooms a lot.
Are you learning things about the country, like the history of the country, the history of the Marines and things like that?
A lot of history about the Marine Corps. It didn't go too in depth, but a lot of the basic history about the Marine Corps, customs and courtesies, laws in the Marine Corps, like key historical figures in the Marine Corps, stuff like that. We learned a lot of that, and we had knowledge tests, so we would have to like actually study to take a test, and you had to pass the test or you'd get you wouldn't make it through boot camp. Like you had to pass a knowledge test.
Now, everybody, before you go into the Marines, do you have a job picked out that you're going to do in the Marines, or is that does some people not know until they get there?
So we had some girls in my platoon, which they were open contract. There was a couple girls that were going into the Marine Corps to get their citizenship or to get their family citizenship, so they went in open contract.
Wow.
Yeah.
I figured you had to be a citizen to be in the Marines.
No, so you can actually, I'm not sure exactly how it works, because obviously I've always been a citizen of America. Yep. But you can gain your citizenship through joining the military.
Wow.
I'm not sure on the specifics of that, so I can't speak on it, but it is possible. We had a girl in my platoon who was from, I believe she was from Colombia, and she didn't speak English at all.
So how does that work out?
They just make it work. They figure it out.
That's pretty cool, though. That's a good opportunity. Come fight for your country, and we'll make you part of one of us.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Pretty much.
So, you came there with, you already had a career. I'm imagining some people were trying to find themselves, find what they wanted to do.
There was a lot of girls there that had never worked like an actual job a day in their life. That were right out of high school.
Did everybody make it that you started out with, or did some people go?
Not at all.
So how's that happen?
We started with 44 girls. We made it up to 50 from picking girls up from other platoons that got dropped.
Yep.
And then by the end, we graduated 33. So people would they would get dropped for various reasons. Like we had one girl get dropped because she didn't qualify with the rifle, so she didn't pass shooting. We had some girls get dropped for medical reasons. We had some girls get dropped for mental health reasoning.
Okay.
That just couldn't make it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do some people just quit?
Yes. There was a total of, I believe it was 11 girls that got dropped for mental health reasons because they just couldn't mentally do it.
Was there any time during your stay there that you were questioning being there?
No, not at all.
That's awesome.
I missed being home. I missed working. I wished I could just go home and go back to work a lot of the time. But I didn't mind it there. It was a good experience. It was what I needed to do. But you just have to have that strong mentality when you're going through that stuff. Like, you look to your left and your right and everybody's going through the same thing as you. So it's like, why would you bitch out?
Yeah. So cool. And do you get any time off while you're there?
No. I mean, you technically get Sundays off from training because it just has to do with Sunday being such a religious day for people. So you go to your church services in the morning and you clean, and then you get some free time. So you get 2 hours of free time on Sunday, some in the morning after you clean before your church services.
Yep.
And then every night we got an hour of free time.
What if so church services, I'm imagining people are many different religions?
Or not, I wouldn't say it's like religious
services.
Service? It's just all types of services. I just say church services because I'm a Christian, I go to church.
Right, okay.
But they have all sorts of services there.
Interesting. I tried to get into the service. I went and signed up for the Air Force when I was 18. They took a look at my hand and said, you can't pass the test.
Really?
I was so bummed out, I wanted to be in the Air Force. The Air Force came to, they came to our school with tractor trailers.
Oh,
it was
really?
a female driver. It was back when everything was cab overs.
Yeah.
So it was so inspiring that I went right down to the recruiting office to sign up.
Really?
And back like 1988. I don't know if it's different now, but
okay.
So I'm always envious of people that get them join up. It's pretty cool. And I have a couple uncles that were Marines in Vietnam. going to be in the Marines?
So I'm motor T, which I'm a motor T operator, which is truck driver, but it's small trucks. It's like, it's nothing like what I do here. Like,
Right.
I'm assuming what I do here will be harder than anything I operate in the military.
That was Tyler Labonte going the other
Oh,
way.
really?
Yeah. My phone's going to stop beeping. It's going to start sending me text
Yeah.
messages.
I didn't know he was driving for them.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's his job, yeah.
I thought he was just working as like a yard laborer for them. I didn't know he drove for
No,
them.
yeah, he drives the little trucks over there.
Oh, good for him.
So, you're going to be a truck driver in the Marines. I mean,
Yeah.
you can pretty much teach the course, though. I mean,
No.
you're a truck driver in real life.
So it's
What are they
it's
going to
a
teach you?
little- It's a little different because they're operating vehicles in like rough off-road terrain too.
Okay.
And you have, from what I was told by one of the drill instructors at boot camp, who was a motor T operator before he became a drill instructor, he was saying that some of the stuff they do there is a lot of off-road training. They do a lot of IED training, like
Okay.
knowing how to navigate around IEDs and stuff.
Okay.
But it's very basic courses, and you learn more as you learn about your job in the Marine Corps.
Right.
But they do some stuff where you have to drive through water,
Okay.
stuff like that. Survival training.
That's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, survival training, yeah.
Like, not really survival training, but like, I believe you have to do some water survival
Okay.
because you have to do a course where you drive the vehicle through water. That's
Okay.
what I was told. It could be changed now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But that stuff's always changing. But yeah, we're gonna learn about driving the vehicles off-road, like desert environments, stuff like that.
What branch of the military is driving the big trucks? Like I see on Route 2 here.
You're probably seeing
Fort
Uh,
Devens. Is that
you're
on?
either seeing you would probably be seeing the Army on Fort Devens, or you'd be seeing the people coming from Hanscom and Bedford, because Hanscom and Bedford is right off of 2A.
Right.
So it's pretty close to Route 2. You'd probably be seeing that. But Hanscom has it's not just the Air Force there, they have some other branches that are stationed there
Okay.
working full time. So you're probably seeing the people off of Hanscom or Fort Devens, I would assume. Or the National Guard. You could also be seeing the National
Okay.
Guard.
Oh, yeah, that's
I know
right.
they have some installations around here. I'm not sure exactly where, but
Did you meet Owen today? Owen's in the excavator.
no, I did
He's
not.
Navy Reserves.
Oh,
He's
okay.
19 also.
There's a 19-year-old in the excavator.
Yeah. He's worked here a couple years here and there, helping out,
Okay.
site work and stuff. And now he's loading the trucks right now. It's a
Okay.
good job, yeah. And he goes every other weekend. He's down in Newport, Rhode Island.
Oh,
Portsmouth,
okay.
yeah.
I'll have to meet him. No, I did
Yeah.
not meet him. Does he
you
work
walk-
here full
You
time?
walked right by him, you didn't even know it. He was
Did I
in the
really?
excavator, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He probably has no idea who I am.
No, he's probably, is that Mike's wife?
He probably has no idea who I am.
I probably heard your name.
Probably.
Can't stop talking about you behind your back.
I don't know what you guys are saying about me.
Oh, it's not good.
Oh,
It's not
God.
good, girls. Nothing good.
Oh,
We got to take her back, guys. No, we're all
God.
happy to have you back. We got a good crew here.
good, good.
You know, we got Freddie Stolman driving whatever they tell him to drive right now. He just started a few weeks ago.
Oh, really?
You'll like
Okay.
him. He's old school.
As long as he's
cool
taking
guy.
care of my Western
That guy's driven the coolest trucks on the road. So
Really?
he's been an auto operator his whole life.
Awesome.
We got Teddy and me and Tommy once in a while.
Tommy once in a while?
Tommy was working a lot, but we needed another full-time person. We're really busy.
Yeah, I heard.
We
I heard
haven't
it was a
slowed down
very.
since you left. Yeah.
I know. I heard. I
Yeah.
thought that was crazy. I was thinking I was going to be missing like nothing.
No, we could have used you.
It's good to hear it was busy.
But we had people and new trucks coming.
Yeah, I'm
Couple new
excited to see
trucks.
those.
Pretty exciting. And yeah. So you'll be back in about 3 months.
Well, I would say about 3 or 4 months, probably
Okay.
in the middle of the two.
Okay.
Hoping for a shorter end,
Yep.
so I can get back to work.
Will you be
Okay.
meeting any of the same people you met at Paris Island?
Yes. So
Okay.
everybody that we went to boot camp with is going to the combat training at the same time.
Wow.
And then there's a couple people I met in boot camp that are the same MOS, which MOS is your job. So
What does MOS stand for?
Military Occupational Specialty.
Okay.
So there's a couple kids I met that are also motor T and reservists.
Okay.
So I will probably be schooling with them.
Did you meet any other truck drivers in your group?
No, I met a good amount of kids actually whose parents were truck drivers.
Okay.
Which I thought was cool.
Did they think it was like cool that you were already a truck driver before you joined?
A lot of the girls in my platoon thought it was cool.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh, that's so cool, you do that." And then when we got our phones back, I showed them pictures of my truck and everything.
Okay, cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they thought it was pretty interesting.
Do they know you're a YouTube star?
No,
Kind of?
no, I didn't tell anyone. No, I don't think any of them would have watched. Yeah.
And awesome. Well, thanks, Rose.
Welcome.
Good luck in your training.
Thank you.
We're proud of you.
Thank you.
Four o'clock. Dumping out last load. We've been cooking. Burning up the interstate. Dump this, get a load of gravel, take it back. Drop the trailer. Do a little detailing. Tomorrow we have a memorial convoy for Biff Ogden. Biff owned Ever Ready Trucking in Billerica, Mass. I put it in the shop at 5:30. I didn't wash. It was muddy this morning. I'm just gonna give it a quick wipe down and get out of here in 20 minutes. Now it's 7 o'clock. Gave it a quick wipe down, all right. But we're going to a memorial tomorrow for a guy who kept the coolest rides around here. Classy rides, a lot of chrome, a lot of lights. Wouldn't be doing him justice. So now we can show up with our heads held high for Biff. And yeah, it's the end of another week. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Catch me at the Mid-America Truck Show in Louisville, March 21st to 23rd. And say hello. All right. I'll be at the Shell Rotella booth Thursday and Friday. Come in and say hello. I mean, if you're there and you don't say hello to me and you subscribe to my channel, I mean, what's up with that? I'd say hello to you if I could find you. All right, guys. Peace and grace.